I am certainly no fan of the Daily Beast. They have written fake news stories. They have written conjecture as fact. I usually would never use them as a service, even as a source, even though NewsGuard would rate them well. But they do have the story about Joey Salads, YouTube star famous for racist pranks, launches congressional bid. They say, Joey Salads made his name on YouTube with fake social experiments. Now he wants a starring role in the American experiment. And first on the list is lowering the minimum wage. So here's the thing. I saw this article, and I don't think it's completely unfair. It's obviously biased. So there's some things I do want to point out because they do frame it, but they did get statements from Joey, and it's actually kind of funny. Not Joey's campaign, but Joey's a YouTuber. He's got 1 million plus, I don't know, 10 million followers across the board, and he's running for Congress in Staten Island. And I find the whole thing fascinating. So let's make a few points. Joey is not famous for racist pranks. I feel like it's kind of an unfair framing of it. You could say so. I don't think it's necessarily wrong to say because many people do know him because he did racist pranks. But Joey was famous before doing these controversial racist pranks. So he's famous for pranks and was, and many of which, I would say, famous for YouTube pranks, many of which were racist. It's hard to frame, because he did get a ton of attention when he was busted for doing racist pranks. Now, for those that aren't familiar, I was in Sweden, Joey tweeted at me, and I got offended, I got pissed, because Joey made fake news. He made fake news, passed it off as real news, and fake news is one of my biggest pet peeves, and it was overtly racist. So, who's this guy, right? So I told him off and I cussed him out. And then I was thinking about it later. I'm like, man, if this dude is a bad guy and he's trying not to be, and I tell him to go screw himself, what do you think he's going to do? The only people who are going to like him are other bad people. So that's probably a bad idea. So I actually came back from Sweden and I met up with Joey in LA and we did an interview about it. And I basically said, you know what I realized? You have to give people a chance to be forgiven, to bring them back into, our society. Joey got busted for doing something bad. Look, if you want to say there's no forgiveness, that's on you, but what do you think people are going to do if you don't let them back into society, right? So I was like, all right, Joey's got to do better. If you give him a chance, he'll try, right? So let's see what he does. But let's go through what they say about him. They do say fake social experiments too, and I don't think it's fair to say he made his name with fake social experiments because he was doing general pranks. Many of them were probably fake, so it's hard to know for sure. It's better to say he made his name on YouTube with social experiments, of which many people believe were faked, right? But look, the Daily Beast, they're going to frame, they frame things this way. They say, prankster Joey Salads built a YouTube fan base of millions by asking viewers to like and subscribe his videos. Come on, more than that. Now he's hoping his fans will send him to Capitol Hill. Salads, a 25-year-old with more than 4 million subscribers combined on YouTube and Facebook, registered as a Republican candidate in New York's 11th Congressional District in late April. The YouTube prankster, whose real name is Joseph Saladino, appears to be the first YouTube star ever to run for office. Wow, is that true? But he doesn't think he's going to be the last. You're going to see a lot more people who are popular on social media run for office. We've already got half the work done. He's absolutely right. Seriously. There's going to be a ton of people on YouTube. We've already seen Sargon, in the UK running for European Parliament. So I think Sargon beat Joey to the punch. But in terms of the US, I don't know who the first prominent YouTuber is, but I guess, there's a difference in that Joey wasn't necessarily overtly political. A lot of his content is silly pranks, like throwing pies at people and stuff. There's one I watched where he's got a wig on and someone opens a purse and gets sprayed with milk. It's not political content. Sargon's political, so maybe this is a bigger deal. I don't know. You comment, let me know what you think. But he's right. I think this is just a start. They're going to be there are already tons of politically active YouTubers. They have massive followings. They've espoused their political ideologies. They've talked about what they like, and now people are going to take that opportunity. I've actually had a ton of people ask me when I would run or if I would run, and it'll never happen. It's never going to happen. It's not like millions of people are saying, oh, we want to. No, it's a couple dozen here and there will be like, you should do it. And it comes up when stories like this come up. And I'm like, don't look at me, man. Seriously, don't look at me. Look at Joey. See what he's got going on. In preparation for a campaign for the Staten Island seat now held by freshman Rep. Max Rose, a Democrat, Salads has stored up what he describes as a year and a half of prank videos so he won't be interrupted on the campaign trail. He's also made his pranks more political. In his latest video, Murderer Gets Voting Rights from Democrats Social Experiment, Salads tests whether Washington tourists will sign a petition allowing a murderer to cast a ballot. And so, yeah, he has this video. Like many YouTube stars, Salads has plenty of old content to be ashamed about. Clips that could now be turned into opposition research. Salads rose to prominence on YouTube with a series of bizarre prank, copy editor will, and self-described social experiment videos that seemed obviously staged. Salads' videos made him a target for YouTube comedians who made him a laughingstock on the platform over his staged videos and awkward delivery. Doesn't matter. It worked for him. I think it's fair to point out a lot of what Joey does, it really does look faked, right? I don't think that's a unique opinion. I think that's like a lot of people are like, dude, no way someone said that to you, you know? And one of the things I've always pointed out with YouTube pranksters is that it is much more expensive to film for 20 hours trying to get a good reaction than to just hire someone for $20 to say what you want them to say. So, you know, here's the thing. Joey was caught making fake videos, so I think it's a fair, you know, what are you going to do? He's caught doing it. But it doesn't mean everything is done as fake. Some of his videos are very obviously not fake because they don't need to be. Like, you know, when he goes and asks people questions about whether they would support felony voting rights, that's just like a normal man on the street video where they've got someone pretending to be, you know, a felon. So in one video, he holds up a Black Lives Matter sign in a white neighborhood without any problems. Then he takes an All Lives Matter sign into a black neighborhood, though passerbys accost him immediately. As you can see, he says that, you know, the black people get really emotional in the video. I'm not going to believe that one's real. Or this one either. He now admits that some of his videos were fake, and others were half fake. His string of staged videos come to an end in October 2016 when he published a video that purported to test whether a car with Trump stickers would be vandalized in a black neighborhood. In the video, a group of black men angry at Donald Trump descend on the car, smashing its windows. And so Joey accuses these guys of being violent, but as it turns out, I don't know if it was this video. They say the segment went viral, Drudge Report had it up, but an onlooker recognized Salads and filmed the entire scene from a different angle, posting a video that showed the vandals had been in cahoots with Salads the whole time. Joey was busted producing a racist fake news video, and I did an interview with him about it a couple months ago, and he just said that he got carried away. He just saw a path to making money and getting views, and he didn't realize how crazy he was getting. And you know what? I have zero respect for that, and I think it should be condemned entirely. I think Joey did something overtly racist, but here's the thing. I've met racist people. I think Joey is more... It's not that he's racist, it's that he just didn't care about people, right? And so that was the problem. I think he got carried away and was much more self-interested. So there's a difference between someone who's got an ideology where they hate a certain group of people and someone just wants to make money. In that sense, you could argue it's even worse. So there will never be a time where I will accept or defend anything Joey has done with his videos. In fact, I will continue to condemn them outright. But the main thing that I always want to stress in this is there are a lot of people who want propaganda and fake news, activists of crazy ideologies. If you know, at first I was like, he's no better than any of these people at the mainstream media who make fake news. He's doing the exact same thing, and it's worse because he's getting millions of views on this. He's tricking everybody. I want him to stop doing that. I want Joey to stop, right? One of the videos he put out, a few months ago, it's like I said, he's in a wig and someone gets sprayed with milk. That's better. Because here's the thing. How do you effectively stop people, de-radicalize people? Joey wasn't becoming like a violent extremist. He was just becoming a cutthroat, ruthless business person with, lacking empathy for what he was doing and like the destruction it was causing. Whether or not he realized it, and so some people have said to me, so what, Tim? The only reason he stopped now is because it hurt his business. Don't care. Don't care. I'm not gonna read Joey's mind. All I want is stop the racism, stop the violence, however you can do it. And I'm inspired by people like Daryl Davis, who actually met with KKK members and convinced them to stop, and they handed in their robes. And that first time I saw that story, seriously brought a tear to my eye. I was like, man, talk about inspirational, smart, inspirational, amazing, peaceful. Through community, through friends, through empathy, he de-radicalized these people. And so I'm thinking, whatever ends up happening with Joey, it's not like I know him very well. I've done a couple interviews with him, But whatever ends up happening, I'm not saying he should run for office. I personally don't agree with his minimum wage stance. I don't live in his district, so don't ask me. It's better that he stopped this. He was caught. He stopped. Good. But here's the thing. If you don't give him a chance to come back and do something, he will go to those fringe people who will accept him, because that's how radicalization works. Somebody starts getting, they call it like love bombing or something. A bunch of, crazy weirdos will start telling you how great you are, and that encourages you to do more. If people kept pushing Joey away and didn't give him a chance to stay on YouTube and keep working, who do you think he's going to run to? The people who accept the content he makes, be it a lie or not. Can't have that. So you don't want people, you want to basically say, okay, you're not going to be fired, your life's not going to be destroyed, but you've got to abide by these things, and you're on thin ice. And then people are going to say, okay, like I don't want to, lose everything. Good. I can't speak to his content since then, other than a few like goofy things I've seen on Instagram. I can't speak to him running for Congress. I think there's a lot of reason, as they point out in this article, that people will have reservations, and this will be used as opposition research. They're going to call Joey racist all day and all night. Again, as much as I know the left is going to start, crapping all over me, Tim thinks Joey's not racist. I really don't think Joey's racist. I don't. I just think he's a dude who found a path to making a bunch of money, and he didn't care what he was doing to those around him. I don't think he cared enough to see the kind of impact this would have in terms of division and violence and hate, and he contributed a lot to that. But here's what we got to do. We have to accept, Joey's come out and just laid it all out. He did a podcast and was like, man, yup, he admitted everything. He explained it. He was done. Busted. Over. So good, it stops. Look, you got a lot of people in digital media that are well-funded that lie all day and all night about everybody. I want them to stop too. What Joey did with this is a tiny fraction of what we see from these major publishers. These big news organizations aren't always putting out fake news, but they do it a lot. They accuse people of the craziest things. They lie, they smear. You look at what's going on with Sargon and Dankula in the UK, and it's insane the things they're saying about them. It's crazy. They do it to everybody. They call Ben Shapiro alt-right, and they do it for the same reason Joey did. That's the thing. You can look at Joey and get angry at him, okay? But he stopped. He got caught. It's over. But how come no one's stopping The Economist when they call Ben Shapiro alt-right? They apologize in that instance. But that's just the stuff we catch. What happens when The Guardian says all these people are white nationalists and all these really awful things, and it hurts them, and it creates division, and it makes them want to fight each other? No one is stopping them when they do it. So I'll take what I can get. If I can say we have an opportunity to stop someone from making the fake divisive news and videos, and Joey does, good. I'm willing to accept your apology. And that means you don't do it ever again. Got it? Good. Now go do something good. And then he made a video where, like, I don't know, he's wearing a wig and someone got sprayed with milk. I don't know. I don't watch his videos. So it's entirely possible, because I'm not here to in any way defend his past. It's entirely possible that, Joey is still doing bad stuff. I don't know. But it seems like, for the most part, this awful fake news stuff is over. And now he's doing, like, silly videos and some political videos that seem more on the level. But I don't know. I don't know for sure. It's possible he's not. So we're never going to put Joey in a position, at least in my opinion, where I'm going to give him all the trust in the world. I would actually say he gets less trust from me than a stranger on the street, because I know that he's done something bad. But the point I'm trying to make with all this, as I often do when it comes to Joey, is, you know what, man? I don't want to see this. Because if you see, like, you've got one more, you've apologized, we haven't seen videos like this, okay, then don't. I don't want to rag too much on this issue, because it's something I kind of talk about every so often when Joey pops up. He's running for Congress. He wants to propose a lower minimum wage. I don't agree with his positions on these things. But here's the funny thing. He's got former Rep. Michael Grimm, who served a prison term for tax fraud. That's who he's running against? Seriously? He's close to launching a bid. All right, well, you know what, man? I can't speak for the people in Staten Island, but if you got to choose between a guy who went to prison and a guy who made really, really bad videos, man, that's a tough choice. They do still have State Assemblywoman Nicole Malliotakis, who carried Staten Island in a failed 2017 mayoral bid against de Blasio. She's already in the race. So I don't know what her, I think it's in the primary fight, so she's a Republican. We'll see what happens, man. I will say this, regardless of Joey's past, whatever your opinions on him is, this is really interesting to see a YouTuber pop up like this. He said he's not ruling out a presidential bid in the future, and said he would choose excitable YouTube drama vlogger Daniel Keemstar to handle the White House press corps. Oh, man. I'm not trying to be a dick, but we are really close to Idiocracy, if you know what I'm talking about. Keemstar would be the press secretary. I think Logan Paul would be good in something that's related to health. Should Salad win the seat? Other House members should be on guard. Salads won't rule out pranking fellow lawmakers for more YouTube videos. Yada yada. Okay, I'm gonna end with one important thing. I actually think this is a pretty good article by the Daily Beast. They point out what Joey did. They criticize him. You know, they highlight these things, and rightly so. I don't think Joey should be allowed to walk away from what he did. He has to own that. That's part of his ledger. That's part of his life, his legacy. Okay, he can apologize for it. We can move on. It'll always be there. And you should take people's context into account, but we can recognize the things they say today, right? There are people who are former extremists who have been de-radicalized, and we can accept that and allow them to move on with their lives. But I think this is actually a decently fair article, especially it ends on kind of a silly note saying that Joey wants to prank people and he's going to be the most fun congressman in all of DC, according to Salads. It ends kind of positive. So I have respect for the Daily Beast. I also want to say this too. The important thing about Joey is, what do you do when a former, extremist comes out and says, I don't want to do this anymore? You open your arm and say, good. These are bad things. And so I think that maybe the angle that Daily Beast kind of sees it from, because they're typically associated, they've written an article saying like mixed race and minority people are joining white nationalist groups. Like, it's weird. But I think you look at someone who used to be associated with extremism who says, that's not me now. And you say, okay, good, right? We should allow that. We recognize your past. We don't appreciate it, and we will always speak ill of it, and so should you. But do better today, and okay, good. Apology accepted, right? But let me know what you think. I got some more videos coming up later today. I will see you at 4 p.m. on the main channel, youtube.com/Timcast. It is a different channel.